The Masters 8 tournament has finally begun, and the first match didn't exactly go as one might have hoped it would. So let's talk about it. Hey everyone, it's Giant Noodle Man. How are you today? Holy moly, ravioli, Pokemon Journeys episode 115 was quite the episode in more ways than one. With the Masters 8 tournament finally underway, we saw number 1 seed Leon square off against number 6 seed Alan in the opening round. Alan being a prodigy trainer whose demigod of a Charizard's accomplishments includes sweeping the Kalos League, holding off a giant red Sandshrew gone wild, going toe-to-toe with Hoenn champion Steven Stone's Mega Metagross, crushing 10 Mega Trainers in a row, including Malva of the Kalos Elite Four, and destroying Ash Ketchum's dreams. Alan is a veritable power player whose popularity was asserted once again when the official Japanese Pokemon anime Twitter account asked fans who they wanted to win in advance of the episode, and, well, the numbers tell a story. A story possibly indicating that 1. Alan is viewed as an absolute force, worthy of making a splash on the world stage. 2. The production team is not writing Leon as convincingly as they could. 3. A combination of 1 and 2, or 4, he has a cool scarf. Either way, regardless of fan sentiments, we knew that Leon was going to take a commanding victory over Alan in order to satisfy the requirements of the Pokemon Journeys storyline. But I think that the match we ended up getting surprised everyone, from wishful XY era optimists to Leon lovers and scarf drip haters. And I haven't seen people get this worked up since Magic Hands Go caught Suicune. So today's plan is to discuss the key points of Pokemon Journeys episode 115, what worked well, what didn't work so well, and why exactly the episode triggered so many fans. And as always, it's going to be a good time, so kindly subscribe to join the family, press like for liftoff, and let's jump right in. Pokemon Journeys episode 115 kicks off with Ash and Go arriving at Wyndon Stadium, where they finally encounter Hop a mere 115 episodes deep into the series. To be honest, I'm quite alright with weaker rival-ish characters like Hop and Hau getting sidelined in favor of original storylines and characters, and Hop simply showing up to get slapped down like a batfly in the bakery didn't do much to change my mind. We also see Team Rocket return after a 2-month absence from the show, running a new episode of their recently launched radio drama live from Wyndon Stadium. And I have to say, kudos to the writers for appearing to have responded to widespread backlash over how Team Rocket was handled in the first half of the series by nixing the uninspired capsule machine plot device in episode 95 and making Team Rocket's appearances consistently fun and wholesome ever since. Moving forward, the lead up to the opening match itself is the stuff of fan fiction fantasies. From Ash and Iris finding themselves overcome with awe as they arrive in the locker room where the other Masters 8 trainers are waiting, as if it's in this moment that they finally realize just how far they have come, to the Masters 8 taking to the stage to be introduced one by one to the roaring applause of the crowd. It was enough to bring tears to the eyes of anyone who has watched the past 1200 plus episodes of the show. And then the randomized quarterfinals matchups are announced. Ash can only grimace at Alan's unlucky opening draw against the champion. Lance bows to the Lady of Kalos in a gesture of dignified elegance. Iris is nervous but excited to be paired with her old friend Cynthia. And after years of run-ins as allies, Steven Stone says to Ash, "Finally, we get to battle." This segment and the subsequent locker room chats were packed with such great flavor moments and juicy continuity nuggets that I wish the opening ceremony and Masters 8 interactions had lasted for the entire episode. But then, the opening battle finally kicked off, and what happened will be a tough pill for some to swallow. Roughly speaking, the writers achieved the battle's main objective: to demonstrate that Alan, Ash's strongest rival to date, is absolutely no match for Leon, the number 1 trainer in the world, in order to rejig the anime's power scale and make us wonder if Ash truly has what it takes to beat the best of the best. There were also some good moments, such as Leon complimenting Alan and the two smiling at one another throughout the match. However, it was the execution of the Pokemon battle itself that has kicked up a storm of criticism. The Reader's Digest version of it is that 1. The pacing of the battle was peculiar to say the least, and 2. Alan's powerhouse ace got walked over so effortlessly by Leon's "it's over 9,000" powerhouse ace that it actually made the victory less convincing. That is to say that much like Leon in this match, the production team took the easy win, but it did not feel like they earned it. The match card turned out to be Alan's Chestnut, Malamar, and Charizard versus Leon's Rillaboom, Charizard, and, well, we did not get to Leon's third Pokemon. Alan. The opening conflict between Chestnut and Rillaboom is actually a fairly well-paced and enjoyable battle. Leon surprises everyone by almost immediately G-maxing his Rillaboom, but Alan weathers the storm such that Chestnut doesn't fall until Vanilla Boom clips it with acrobatics about 4 minutes into the battle, whereupon Alan sends in Charizard to slap down that silly green monkey, and from there on it is all downhill for Alan and his legacy. Leon sends out his broken Charizard, and Alan switches his broken Charizard out for Malamar after it gets grazed by Air Slash. But Malamar gets dunked on so hard and so fast that it tickles Koga's toes over in Kanto, and just like that, Alan is forced to play his trump card, Mega Evolving his Charizard into Mega Charizard X to put on the show we had all been waiting for. Ash jumps for joy at the sight of the mighty Charizard X heading into battle against someone other than his Greninja. The crowd goes wild, Alan calls an attack, and the ace of aces gets dropped in 30 seconds by one ancient power attack that barely connects, followed by a single Dragon Pulse. It's over, Leon wins, and it is every bit as anticlimactic as it sounds. If the goal was to upend the anime's power scale in the most outlandish way possible, then the team most certainly succeeded. And to be fair, we have been discussing for a while now how Leon would paddle Alan like a canoe in this match. Not to mention that Leon had his Charizard play its hand perfectly against Alan's Mega Charizard X by hitting it with 2 super effective attacks, the second of which connected with a big bang. But if a classic power character that left a series years ago is walked out again simply to play the monkey to new characters we are supposed to believe are so much stronger, then I think it is worth considering 1, whether bringing that classic character back for this scenario was even necessary, and 2, if steps were taken to make the loss believable and so as not to disrespect their legacy. Bearing the goals of Pokemon Journeys in mind, I do think it was important to rejig the power scale for this tournament, but I am not certain that Alan needed to be the one thrown to the big purple bear, and the actual execution of the battle made it a tough watch, even after accounting for the obvious budget limitations that constrained what the animators could do with the matchup. Firstly, I am curious how Alan's Chestnut ended up becoming the star of the show. Roughly 4 minutes were allocated to Rillaboom versus Chestnut, compared with a mere 20 seconds for the initial Leonzard versus Alanzard confrontation, and just about 30 seconds for Mega Charizard X before it got body bagged. Of course, we knew that Alanzard would be overwhelmed by Leonzard, but it happened so quickly that you would have missed it if you even went to the kitchen for a glass of milk. In my humble opinion, the Rillaboom versus Chestnut battle could have been trimmed down extensively to give Alanzard screen time to dodge a few attacks, tank a big hit, struggle to get up, and then hit Leonzard with a big blast burn or flare blitz, only for it to be unfazed and respond with a match finishing move. Quite simply, it would have made for a more interesting story. As it stands, a very cool and powerful Pokemon was rendered entirely ineffectual and dropped like a sack of potatoes, robbing the match of the tension that even Dragon Ball injects into its most lopsided matches. This felt especially jarring given that Ash's Pikachu landed massive damage on Leonzard in Ash's episode 13 exhibition match against Leon, and given that Raihan's Duraludon was able to hit it hard again and again and again in episode 27, which is even more interesting considering that Alan is ranked higher than Raihan was even before Ash pushed him out of the Masters 8. Without nitpicking too much, this is simply to say that it would have made sense to give a trainer and Pokemon who had previously been positioned as very strong the dignity of at least getting in or tanking a few good hits before getting cratered. But alas, Alan got played like a fiddle, and I can understand why the writer's portrayal of Leon's apparent god powers and Alan's rubber duck of a new keystone rubbed many viewers the wrong way. That said, I am very much looking forward to Lance versus Diantha, and I really do hope that it delivers a match worth watching.